All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to trading, investing, or just want to have a better understanding of technical analysis, or you might look at a chart and be confused at what you're looking at as far as candles, price action, things moving up and down, here's the good news. We have TradingView. TradingView is one of the websites that I use when I'm day trading. We're going to cover stocks, crypto, ETFs. I'm going to explain candlesticks, time frames, how to move around on the charts, drawing tools. So if you're a complete beginner, this video is for you. And I recommend watching until the end because I'm also going to show you simple chart analysis routines you can use every time you open up TradingView. Let's start off with what is TradingView. TradingView is a charting and marketing analyst platform used by traders and investors to look at price charts and analyze different financial markets. Depending on the market and the data available to you, you can research stocks, cryptocurrencies, futures, and indices. Now, some things I want beginners to understand about TradingView, it is just a tool. But in order to get the most out of this tool, you have to understand the tools that are within the tools. For this tutorial, I'm going to focus on charting, how to open up TradingView, how to set up TradingView, finding symbols, time frames, chart styles, indicators, alerts. So first things first, you want to go to tradingview.com. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to click here and sign in. Okay. You can use your Google login. So TradingView comes with these different plans. Right now, we're going to bypass that. You have the Essential, which is good if you're just a beginner. This is the plan that I usually use, but this is a good plan if you're going to day trade. Once you do get these plans, you also need to purchase the data so that you have real time from the New York Stock Exchange, and that's going to be like an additional $4 every month. I usually like to wait through holidays, and once the holidays come, they usually have specials on these TradingView platforms. So let's go to TradingView. This is your profile here on TradingView. Right now, this is a new account. I have my other account that I have, but I'm using this one as the one that we're going to use for the tutorials. So let's start with how to define a symbol. You go here. Say if we want to look up SPY, we know the symbol is SPY. We're going to enter here, and it's going to bring up the live chart. Me personally, I like dark charts, so I'm going to switch to dark mode. You click up here, and then you can hit dark theme. On the left-hand side, you have all of your drawing tools. These tools are important for being able to mark different areas on the chart. So let's start with this right here. You have a trend line. A trend line is just going to draw you a line from one point to another point. So once you click that tool, you hit trend line, and then you drag it straight across. This line can be drawn at an angle. It could be drawn straight across. It could be drawn downward. So right here, we're going to just mark a level of support right here. So that's one trend line. Also, you have array. Array is going to go with multiple points. You got a horizontal line and you have a horizontal ray. So all of these lines will just pop up on the chart. For the horizontal ray, it go from one point to another. I like to use this when marking my levels on the daily time frame. All right. This tool, you have the fib retracement, which is another tool people use. This is where you draw from a lowest point to a high, and it's going to give you the Fibonacci retracement to the points where stocks are more likely to retrace, with the 0.5 and the 0.236 being one of the many retracement levels. Also, on the left-hand side on the toolbar, we have different brushes if you want to brush. You have arrow markers if you want to point to certain things. You can put comments on here. Hello to my boy Zaquan. He's on here with us today. Or if you want to put, this is a crucial level. The cool thing about these different marks is once you mark them, right now we're on a daily. If we go to a 5 minute, they're still on the chart on the 5 minute. Long as it's in the view of the window. You have ruler to measure bars. It'll tell you how far, how up from the point that you entered. You have a magnet. This will help you draw lines stronger. If you have a chart you don't want to make any more movements to, or have anybody make any adjustments to your charts, you can lock the chart. Also, you have this where you can take the drawings off. You can hide indicators, and that way you can have a clean chart. So if you were say to draw this, draw that. Let's just say we do a bunch of lines on here. And we wanted a clear chart, we could come right here and we can hide all the drawings. So this is your toolbar that is on the left. The next thing we're going to discuss is understanding the candles. So right now we have daily candles that we're drawing. Let's get it in the picture. Oh, I think I hit everything. I'm sorry. Unhide. I hit auto. All right. You hit that A down there where I just click, it'll bring everything back into the picture. So right now we're on a daily time frame. So what I like to do is to go to Control and Settings, and then the canvas. I like to watermark my ticker. As you can see right there, that made the SPY ticker pop up. Then I also like to have the interval, or you can even put on the description so that you can know what chart you're looking at if you're trying to send a chart to somebody and you can't screenshot all of this. So that's another way I like to set it up. But let's go back into here. When you hit Control, you go to Settings, you have different things that you can make your charts more to your liking. So if I wanted to see this more in a brighter font or more on my chart, I can mess with the opacity. You can also change the text level, make it bigger, make it smaller. You can do the grid lines if you like them white. You want them to stand out a little more. Go through here. And then those are just different things, symbols, if you want the candles to be a different color and those things. But usually leave these things the same. Turn on your events. See when the dividends got paid. If you hit the dividends, you see it turns off right there. Earnings, those things. But you leave all of those on. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about candles. So each one of these candles represents a different time frame. Let me delete these off. And let's show you how we use these candles. So with these candles, this represents one day. If you can see up here, it tells you where it opens, high, low, close, and the movement on the day. Same thing if we went to a 5-minute candle. Now, each one of these candles it's raining. You can hear the rain. Each one of these candles represents 5 minutes. So for example, on a regular trading day, and these little lines bothering me, so let me go back to the settings. Canvas. Okay. I don't really like vertical lines too much. But these candles, they represent 5 minutes. So what I'll do to start my day is I'll mark this level with the 1 day. So this would be, say, for tomorrow. These are stop going away when you pay for the paid version. I'll mark the high of this candle by doing a horizontal ray, right? Now, if I want to alert on this candle, I could click alert and I can add an alert if the price crosses this point tomorrow. If I want to get an alert every time it crosses, then I can hit once per day or above when the bar closes. So I want to do a cross above. That will allow me to get an alert once it crosses that level. Can't do the alerts right now because it's not the paid version. So that's the first thing. The next thing I'll do is I'll mark off the day's low. And if I want to change the color, I'll click on it and say I want to change the line to red. I'll click it red. And then I'll change this one to green because it's above. I like to use green to go, red is going down. Say if I wanted a thicker line, I can use that. That'll be a 3. Say if I wanted a dotted line, I'll click that. That'll make it dotted or dashed. And then the settings, I can put text on the line. I can put high of the day for Friday. And then you see that font will pop up right there. So that's one way you can use this line. And then if you want to lock the line so that it can't be moved, you can hit the lock button. If you want to delete it, you can delete. Yes, remove them. And that's pretty much how you set up your lines on the chart. So if you want to do the same thing on a 4-hour time frame, you can do the same thing. Another important thing is you want to always put on the extended trading hours when you're day trading. That way you can have pre-market and post-market, which is very important. You need to be able to identify pre-market high and pre-market low when you're day trading. So make sure you always turn on the extended trading hours. So the next thing also, this is one of my favorite tools when I'm day trading. I like to click on the zoom. That way I can get more detail when I'm on a smaller time frame. So for example, I mark my levels on the 4-hour, but to enter a trade, I'm either on the 5-minute, which is very tight. I zoom in really closely like this, or I go to the 1-minute and I zoom in very closely like this. So these are very, very, very tight time frames, but as you can see, we can get more detail when we're drawing the support and resistance on these time frames. And how you do that, you can zoom in and zoom in and get you some pinpoint accuracy. So on the right hand side, it's telling you the price of the stock. So when you're day trading, this is very important. You got to remember, these are like 10 and 20 cent moves once you zoom in, but you can make money in a very small time with a 15 or 20 cent move. Okay, we covered the drawing tools. And we covered the support and resistance. The next thing is adding indicators. So right here, you will click indicators. If you wanted to add a simple moving average, you would type in simple moving average. You would click here. It'll allow you to add the simple moving average. You see that blue line came up? Say we want to add my other favorite one, 1348 crossover. That's the next one. Boom. So once the indicators appear, this is where you can make adjustments. If you want to change this simple moving average to 200, you would go into here and you would hit settings. You would go into inputs, change it to 200. I like to use the close. And sorry about that. Then I'll press OK. Now it's a 200 moving average. Let's see. For this one, it's the same thing. If you want to go to the settings, you have the 1348. I use this to identify the momentum of the stock, whether it's bullish or bearish. And then you can change the colors. You see how the line is yellow? If I want to change it to green, I want it thicker. And I can go to the 48. I can change that to red. I can make it thicker. I can make it dotted. I can make it whatever style I want. As you can see, as I click, it changes. If I want it to be less opacity, or if I want it to be very bright, I could do that as well. It's going to go with this, and we're going to go to a thicker line. That's how you add indicators. So up here's your indicators. This is your alerts. And then boom. So here we have watch lists. Say if you have a stock and you want to add it to your watch list. Say Apple, for example. AAPL. Oh. Sorry about that. I go to all. AAPL, I'm sorry. This is another one that we're kind of watching. I don't know. Let's turn this off. There's too much noise for me. Take this off. All right, let's go to Apple. You want to add this to your watch list, you can hit Control. Oh, no. Let's see. No, we go here. Add Apple to your watch list. You hit right there, it'll add Apple to your watch list. Now, if you just want to go between stocks, you can just hit up and down and you can find them. I like to make my watch list with the big stocks like Microsoft. Let's start from the beginning. Let's create a new watch list. Okay. You have some limitations with you have limitations with the basic version. Once you get the paid, you'll be able to have access to all the features. So like say you wanted to add Microsoft. I would add this to the watch list because it's one of the big movers. I would add Apple, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, of course, Avgo. And that's how you make a quick standard watch list. So this is just going to be the initial beginning for using TradingView. I'll make a part 2 to this video. And if anybody has any questions, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.